First, I want to review both CC&Rs and HOA because they are different. Okay, the CC&Rs are your foundation. Okay, CC&R goes for covenants, conditions, and restrictions is what CC&R stands for. They contain major restriction obligations that come with owning the property. They can cover things like architectural changes, property uses, rentals, maintenance, responsibility, and assessments. The HOA rules are more like about everyday living. They may cover things like guest parking, pool hours, pet, noise, trash can, and use of common areas. Don't assume that because you own the home, don't assume just because you own the home that you can do anything you want with it. Read both the CC&Rs and rules before you buy to make sure it fits your lifestyle. Number 2 is HOA fees, financial, health, and inspections. Next, you don't just look at the monthly fee. What are you getting for that money? And the financial health of the HOA. Do the HOA have adequate reserves? Are there major repairs coming up? Have the dues been increasing? A low HOA fee isn't necessarily a good thing. If the HOA hasn't been putting enough money aside, the homeowners could face higher dues or a special assessment in the future. Another thing California buyers need to know about is balcony inspection. Certain condominium communities are required to have inspection of balconies, decks, and other exterior elevated elements that the HOA is responsible for maintaining. If you are buying a condo with a balcony or an elevated walkway, ask, has the required inspection been completed? Were any problems found? And how much will the repairs cost? You also want to pay close attention to HOA reserve funding. Mortgage lenders are looking more closely at HOA reserves. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac financing standards have used a 10% reserve contribution benchmark. And requirements may be becoming more stringent and may be increasing to 15%. This is important because an HOA with inadequate reserves could face future assessments and could potentially create financing issues for buyers. And that will have, if you're having issues, financial issues for the buyer, that's going to make your unit more unattainable. So when you go to sell it, you won't be able to sell it for maybe as much as other houses or other condominiums that do have the correct reserves amount. So something to consider. Special assessment, this is a big one. Ask about special assessments. If the community needs a new roof, plumbing work, road repairs, or other large projects, and there isn't enough money in the reserves, the homeowners may need to pay a special assessment. This could potentially mean thousands of dollars you weren't expecting to pay. Also ask if there are any special assessments already approved or being discussed. The next thing is insurance. Number 4 is insurance. You want to understand the HOA insurance coverage. When you get your HOA docs, you get what's called a master insurance document, and it's going to tell you what the HOA covers. Okay, you want to make sure that when you do your insurance, that anything the HOA doesn't cover, your insurance will then step in. Okay, don't assume the HOA covers everything. Talk to your insurance agent before you close to make sure you have the right coverage. Number 5 is parking, pets, and lifestyle. And finally, when you think about how you're actually going to live in the community, where will you park? Where will the guests park? Can you have pets? Our fur babies are very important to us, and we want to make sure that they could come with us, right? Or if we want to get a new fur baby, we want to make sure we understand the rules and the restrictions on having a pet. Okay. Are the restrictions on a RV, short-term rentals, or other things that are important to you? These may sound like little things when you're excited about buying a home, but they're not little once you live there. Okay. So before you buy a home with an HOA, remember to look beyond the monthly fees. Review the CC&Rs and rules, the HOA finances and reserves, inspections, possible special assessments, insurance cover, and restrictions that can affect your everyday life. An HOA could be a great fit and can offer wonderful benefits, but you want to know exactly what you're agreeing to before you buy. If you're thinking about buying in San Diego and it has an HOA, give me a call. I can help you understand what documents to look at and what questions you should be asking before you move forward. I want to make sure you understand this, that the buyer needs to review the HOA docs. As an agent, I'd be more than happy to help you with the review, but you have to go through and make sure you understand what the rules and what the regulations are. You want to make sure that you can live with them. And if there are any special assessments, you absolutely want to do special assessment. Understand what special and how much it's going to cost. I put HOA docs up very high with things that you need to cover and review carefully. They're like their inspection report, they're like the contract, they're way up there with everything else. And you need to be able to take the time to review these carefully. If you're thinking about moving into San Diego, I'd love to help you. And if you found this helpful, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be sharing more straightforward information about buying and selling and owning a home in San Diego. And if you have any real estate questions you'd like me to cover in future videos, leave me a comment below. It might be my next video. Thanks.